We begin in Washington. More documents marked classified were found at President Biden's private residence in Wilmington, Delaware, than officially acknowledged originally.
Yeah, and the White House is acknowledging that this latest discovery occurred over the weekend. We heard about it on Saturday. Other documents found on Thursday. An attorney for the White House says he found 5 additional pages. These pages were marked classified, and they were found during a search of the president's library, again on Thursday. Now, the White House had previously reported that only a single page was found there in the library. The latest disclosure builds upon the sensitive documents already uncovered in the garage of President Biden's Wilmington home and in his former office in Washington. The response from Capitol Hill, you could call it mixed.
My concern is that the special counsel was called for, but yet hours after that, we still had the president's personal attorneys who have no security clearance still rummaging around the president's residence looking for things. I mean, that would essentially be a crime scene, so to speak, after the appointment of a special counsel.
This administration is doing things by the book. There is a divide and a separation between the Department of Justice and the White House that certainly did not exist in the last administration. And President Biden and his team have reached out to the archives. They've reached out to the Department of Justice. They have done everything they can to cooperate.
CBS News political director Finn Gomez to break it all down for us. Finn, how damaging is this latest revelation to the Biden administration? And is it more damaging because it seems to continue to come out piecemeal?
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Lana, because I think even though it is too early to really see the political impact, I think it may actually leave a mark, especially for the reason you just mentioned, because the president first found out about this in November 2nd, right? And it took him 2 months later until we all knew about that. So I think that point is being focused on by some of the critics as to why there wasn't this transparency. But top Democrats I spoke to said this is like comparing apples to oranges when you compare the president's case to the former President Donald Trump's, that investigation that's happening with Mar-a-Lago. One top operative that I spoke to says, yes, it does hurt. The question is, how badly does it hurt? The top Democratic strategist went on to say that if we have to explain the difference between these two special counsels, it takes the strength out of our argument against Trump, is what this top Democratic operative says. And a little bit more of what we're hearing also from those within the party.
Yeah, and Finn, you have the quotes from the president on 60 Minutes saying, in effect, I don't understand how this could happen in regards to President Trump having documents at his home. And then meanwhile, it turns out he's got documents in his home. Right. So it raises questions about were you putting on an act there? I mean, a person might reasonably wonder, or did you just have no idea what was going on? And the answer to both those questions, I mean, it's not good. Right. And so it raises the bigger issue. There was a cloud of doubt already over the president's possible 2024 run. Some Democrats even saying we don't want him in there. Does this increase that cloud of doubt? I mean, will it impact that 2024 race for the Democrats?
I think that's a great question, Tony. It's early to say. It's still early into this investigation. It's still early, obviously, into the 2024 presidential primary season. Those are some that I spoke to today who are within the party say, as you mentioned, Tony, that perhaps the president should delay his plans after the special counsel has completed his investigation. But frankly, others I spoke to who are close to the White House say that there's no indication that this will impact the president's planning and what is expected to be an announcement later this year. And these are some of the top Democratic operatives that I've spoken to today just on this case.
Finn, I want to follow up on Tony's point because I'm wondering, we have heard that the former president, Donald Trump, is interested in running. He's already thrown his hat into the ring. But does this help him because now Democrats are kind of guilty of similar offenses, or does it just make voters all turned off from both of these potential candidates?
I actually think it does bolster Trump and his fledgling campaign. He's the only one in right now, right? But he's taken some serious hits from within his own party since the midterms. I think it also gives him political cover over his Mar-a-Lago case. and it gives him, even though again these are different cases, different situations, but it gives him this cover to attack the administration and gives us this cover to attack the special counsel in his own case, Jack Smith, and the overall investigation. So, and also, as you've seen, it gives Republicans on the Hill some momentum and something to sort of galvanize politically around.
Yeah. On the one hand, people say it's apples and oranges. On the other hand, they're both fruit and they can be juiced.
Well done.
Oh, good point.
I think a teacher used to tell me that. I had to pull that out of somewhere. I don't really know. That came out of somewhere. Finn, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Lana.